Hello everybody and welcome to this tutorial. I'm going to show you how to export a VRM to motion, and it's actually very easy. I have another tutorial showing you how to install the SDK for motion. If you have not watched that tutorial, please watch that one first so you know where we are. Okay. Alright, so first things first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to Motion SDK dropdown, SDK creation panel, and I'm going to slide it over here. Alright, so cool thing about the SDK, it already has VRM integration built in. So I'm going to drag my VRM model and I'm going to drag it into this folder. And it's going to take a second. Make sure that you are using VRM 0.x or whatever it is called, not VRM 1. VRM 1 seems to not work with many things. People who are familiar with VRMs will tell you the same. Use VRM 0.x. Make sure it's not a VRM 1 or you're just going to get some problems. Okay, so we have now imported the VRM. You'll see that it populates all of the folders for you. You don't have to do anything. How cool is that? All right, so now that we have the SDK panel up, we want to go to create blueprint, create asset, create avatar. Bang, we want to click avatar. Bang. So now that we are in the avatar scene, I'm going to drag my avatar right here and I'm going to put it up here. Boink. And we have our VRM in Unity. So now what I need to do is I want to make this a child of motion avatar. Make sure that it is underneath motion avatar. You'll see a little drop down. Okay, make sure that it is there. Okay, now at this point you need to set up your stuff, you know, like make sure that your blend shapes are working the way that you need them to do, need them to be by, you know, going into where's it? Do I have it right here, inspector. Yeah, so like make sure your blend shapes are all functional. I'll move out of the way. Whoop. Make sure your blend shapes are all working, functional, like doing what they need to do. See, like look left, angry, sign K, all that stuff. Yeah, make sure that all the blend shapes are working the way they need to. Some people have it set up to where they need to use binary, blah blah blah. I'm not gonna get super into that. Okay, that's more you. That's more you on what you want to do. All right, so now that we have your VRM, if your VRM was already set up before, then you're good. But this is where the cool part happens. So the thing about your VRM model, right? The thing about it is you are limited by what shader you can use when you export it as a VRM. Typically people use like mtion or things like that. But because you're exporting it as a motion file, you're exporting it to motion. This will allow you to do even more with it. So here are the materials and they're using mtion, right? What I can do is I can like select all of these and I can use a different shader. So I can use like my Poyomi shader if I want to. And this is compatible. This is compatible with motion. So I can go through all the hoops and whatnot to, you know, make it look as nice as I want, like what shader and all that jazz. Yeah, just go nuts, go crazy. I'm gonna go back to mtion just for this tutorial, and right. So I'm going to scale him down a little bit because he's a little big, and there we go. You'll have this gentleman right here. He's a good reference to kind of give you an idea of the average humanoid heights. Don't worry, he doesn't export. You can just move him around if you want. You can also change what kind of reference is here. None, chair, couch. It don't matter. Then I like him hanging out with me. Okay, so now that we have done that, we can go over to, you'll have a bunch of things here. We have actions, ragdoll, movement, animations, and help. So if you hit ragdoll, you can add a ragdoll component to the model. Okay. And what this is going to do is this will allow you to do physics stuff. This will allow you to add collision and things like that. So we hit ragdoll, you can hit auto populate bones and it'll do it for you. Most of the time this hits really well. See, like right foot, foot R, and this is a weird shaped guy. And then you can adjust the weights, right? And then you have your animator right here. So now that your ragdoll is set up, you can go to movement. You can adjust the typical walking speed. Imagine he's pretty slow, so just put him like very slow, and yeah. And then you have animations. This part right here is very cool. So you'll have the option, if you so wish, right? I'll move over. If you so wish, you can manually change each animation for everything, like moving forward, backward, left, and right, moving forward, left, forward, right. You can get really into the details when it comes to walking, running, jumping, walk jump animations, run jump animations, and even custom emotes. You can do this all in here. All you need to do is to just put an animation in here. Okay. And then for idle animations, it's exactly the same thing. You can just add something here. You can give them like a really cute idle or whatever you want. Okay, so that is kind of like a rundown on that. I'm just gonna leave it as defaults because, you know, if you're gonna use it for tracking and things like that, you don't really need to do any of this. But if you plan on using it for, I don't know, other stuff like roaming around your space and maybe for games, you might want to change up some of these animations. Okay, so his movements, his actions, don't have to worry about that. Bang. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and just name this. So this is Monty promotion tutorial, and then you hit build scene. Oh yeah, of course, make sure you save it. Okay, so now it's gonna build it. One thing to know, if you are getting some sort of like authentication error popping up on the right, don't worry. You need to have motion open to do this, because what is going on is this is being stored on motion servers, so then you can access it from any computer. Okay, now that we are in motion, if you go to assets, you'll see that the model is right there. Right there. There it is. If you don't see it, you might need to hit refresh right here on the right. If you still don't see it, restart motion. Maybe something got a little bugged, but it should be there. So I'm gonna go into a space. Okay, so I am now loaded into a space. I'm gonna go to my asset browser, and you'll see there's the new guy. I'm gonna drag him, put him right here. And there you go. That's how you add a VRM to motion. Then at this point, if you want to use him for tracking, you would just set up your connections over here, like for VMC, have it match like what you have in VC Face or VNyan or whatever you're deciding to use. Make sure that it is this avatar selected, and then just, you know, turn that on, then bang, you can track it. Okay. All right. So that is how you set up a VRM model and convert it to motion. It's very quick, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Take care, everybody.